All right, welcome back. This is part two of just trying to go through how to work with a transcript for qualitative research. If you haven't seen the first video, I do recommend going back and looking at how you can prepare your transcript so that once you start going through the process of identifying codes, it makes the process much easier. But moving forward from the transcript, our transcript is now prepared. As you can see, it is pretty well structured. I have the facilitator well identified, participant responses, and there's not a whole lot of muddling in between. Now, for this particular paper, what I've done is I've actually gone through and identified all of my themes already. And what I personally like to do is I will put my document with the transcript on one side of my screen. I'll open a separate Word document and just start listing as I find different codes. And the codes are going to come from repeating items when, for example, the tedious work, or you can see a lot of structure and master courses in here. What we're seeing is that these are things that keep popping up. And it's between multiple participants, but sometimes it's very heavy with one participant if they're very strong feeling about that particular thing. But you do want to make sure that it's recurring between multiple participants because that gives it strength as a code. So as you can see, this is participant one's response, and I'm just showing the highlighted areas really quickly for the structure and master courses. And I've highlighted some of the key items. Now, there's a lot here, obviously. Not every section will be like that. But then participant two echoed some of the same thoughts. They were still within that same realm of looking at how this was going to improve their course structure and master courses. And then as I keep going through the entire paper, I do notice a few other things. So tedious work, looking at some of the technical support issues, and so on and so forth. So as you can see, this does take quite a bit of time, and not everything gets highlighted, nor should it, but you do identify some of those recurring items. And as you start getting that information together, what you'll want to do at the very end of identifying everything throughout the entire transcript is create a table. I personally like tables. It helps me to organize things, but create a table that is going to identify some potential themes, the codes that you've already identified throughout the paper based off the different quotes, and then a section for relevant quotes. The relevant quotes I have not done just yet, but what I would like to do is eventually, after I get my themes together, so as you can see, I've already completed the themes here and organized. So these are all the support codes, these are all the motivation codes, the commitment codes, the review process codes. Once I have everything together, just like this, I'll go back through the actual paper, the transcript, and I'll pull out some of those key quotes, the ones that really hit home, really drive in the point. And they don't always have to agree. That's very important as well. Sometimes you're going to see that you're going to have contrasting points between participants, but on the same topic. And a great example of that is looking at this code right here, which says it's internal versus subscriber review type. Now, this is for looking at quality matters as a peer review process for courses, online courses. And so there was some dissension in terms of some people really liked internal reviews. Some people were leaning more towards subscriber reviews, and vice versa. Those who liked the internal probably didn't like the subscriber, and vice versa. So go back through, pull some of those relevant quotes, and then that gives you a great table to start really building your analysis. The analysis will be very descriptive. Typically for themes, you want to hit at least 1 page, 2 pages maybe, as you're going through. But the key is to not bog down the analysis. You want to make sure it's concise. You want to make sure it's driving the point of this is the theme and this is what's supporting that theme. And then from there, once you've conducted the analysis from just the single method here, you would be able to propose recommendations. Now, obviously, if you're doing a multi-method study, you're going to have other data collection methods to consider for those recommendations as well. However, for this particular study, what I'm doing is just using this one data set. Okay, I hope you found this helpful. Happy researching and good luck.